All right, we're following some breaking news. As you have learned over the course of the last 30 minutes or so here at CBS News 24/7, Israel has launched a strike targeting Hamas leadership in Qatar. The United Nations Secretary General is now delivering remarks on the attack. Let's listen.
Importance of the report that we launched today. It lays bare a stark reality. The world is spending far more on waging war than on building peace. In 2024, global military spending surged to a record $2.7 trillion, the equivalent of $334 for every person on Earth. That is really 13 times the amount of official development assistance from the world's wealthiest nations and 750 times the regular budget of the United Nations. At the same time, our shared promise of sustainable development is in jeopardy. Only 1 in 5 Sustainable Development Goals targets is on track. The financing gap is growing, and so is the cost of inaction. Governments have legitimate security responsibilities, protecting civilians, safeguarding critical...
I want to bring back CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio, who's joining us from our London newsroom. Ramy, the UN Secretary General Andreas Guterres there saying that the attack on Hamas's leadership by Israel into Doha is unacceptable. But what are you learning at this time as to what may have transpired and who was targeted?
Sure. Well, the violation of sovereignty is the phrase that comes to mind, and that is what Qatar's prime minister has just said in a statement, saying that it is a cowardly act, a cowardly Israeli act that he says targeted residential buildings housing several members of the political bureau of Hamas. And we are seeing videos start to come across the wires here of at least one smoking building, a building that could be 2-3 levels of its facade. We do not know at this time whether that is one of those residential buildings that houses members of Hamas, but we will try to figure that out and get that confirmation to you if it is in fact true. One other thing also out of Qatar is that the country, according to local Israeli media, is now suspending all of its mediation efforts for that Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal. This is until further notice. This is a massive blow to what would be a potential peace process for the Gaza Strip and for Israel. But this goes to show the anger, the frustration that Qatar and its leadership now are going through, that also have to show in a very public-facing manner. They say that this will be suspended until further notice. In addition, we're also getting strong condemnation from one of not just a regional country, but also an American ally, Jordan, strongly condemning Israel's attacks on Doha. This is coming from the foreign ministry here. Saying this is a blatant violation, to our point earlier about sovereignty, a violation of international law, and what they say is the United Nations Charter. So these are the latest lines coming out in terms of now what we're seeing as a potential standstill in those ceasefire talks, which had been ongoing. Even, it seems, earlier today, from what we are seeing, senior Hamas leadership had been gathered, Vlad, to discuss those proposals that had been floated from Israel, and in particular from President Trump and the White House, which potentially could have seen all 48 hostages believed to still be held in Gaza to be released in total in exchange for an untold number of Palestinian prisoners, which would theoretically then get to this, at least a temporary truce. But now we know that this, at least from one of the mediators, Qatar, Egypt being the other mediator, now putting on indefinite hold their participation in this process.
Ramy, we know that earlier when you and I spoke that there were some names that were being reported as having been targeted. I don't know if you've gotten an update. I know that that might have been reporting from somewhere else, but I'm curious if you've learned anything more on that. And the other question, of course, is were any Qataris or Egyptians hurt or killed in this attack? Have we heard anything from the political leadership of those two countries?
At present, no, not yet in terms of anyone else who may have been hurt or killed. What we do know is that Israel's military said that they used precise targeting to carry out these attacks. And to your first question, Vlad, at least one name has been confirmed. Hamas's chief negotiator, Khalil al-Hayya, chief negotiator in those ceasefire and hostage talks that have been on again and off again. I do have to note that in this fog that we are still very much in this first hour of these attacks, that Al Jazeera, the regional Al Jazeera, says that that man that I just said, Hamas's chief negotiator, Khalil al-Hayya, in fact survived that. So again, pinning this on local media, we are trying to figure this out, and we will get to you as we know it. There are other members that Hamas says that they targeted, but again, we don't know any other names, at least at this point, that are confirmed.
All right, Ramy, we just are learning, as you were just chatting there, that the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has confirmed that this action taken by the Israelis was unilateral. In other words, it was them, that they carried it out. They carried it out alone. The United States may have given the green light. They may have been aware, but this was a purely Israeli military action. Again, we just put up the released statement here from the PM's office, reading it for our viewers. Today's action against the top terrorist chieftains of Hamas was a wholly independent Israeli operation. Israel initiated it, Israel conducted it, and Israel takes full responsibility. We'll be, of course, curious to understand exactly, Ramy, as you were pointing out, what might have transpired, what might have broken down in those negotiations to lead this. It may have been simply a target, an opportunity for the Israelis, one too good to pass up, given that these leaders would have all been gathered together. So we'll have to wait and see. These are many, many questions that a lot of people still have, and I know you're digging into it for us. We appreciate it, Ramy. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.